everyone, welcome to another Let's Chat. If you're unfamiliar with this new sort of segment on my channel, on my own TV network, no. It is just literally videos where I sit down and I just talk to you about certain topics, and it's all free-flowing. I usually ramble a lot and it just goes on and on, but I really like filming these videos, and I hope you enjoy them too. Today's video is all about finding time to read and how each of us has different circumstances, and just, talking about finding time to read. Now, more particularly, I will probably talk about, how I find time to read, how I could be better at it, how I could be worse, and various things. So I hope you guys get a drink and a snack and just sit back and let's just chat about finding time to read. Whereas you could be sitting back, drinking, and eating and reading a book instead of watching this video. So today's mug is actually a lens mug that my husband got me for Christmas. And isn't it cool? I love it. I'm a photographer, so of course. Now, and today I'm drinking water. I know I've said I'm obsessed with Dr. Pepper, but I'm trying to be healthier, and I'm only limiting myself to one Dr. Pepper a day. And it's been going good for a week so far, and that's great. Let's hope it continues. I will use this as a reminder to myself to drink less Dr. Pepper because it's amazing, but it's never. So I just want to talk first about how I find time to read, and before I get into that, I need to tell you about my circumstances of why it is hard for me to find time to read. Now, I'm sure you're sick of hearing me say this, but I feel like it's pertinent. It's very pertinent to my life, and it's very pertinent to reading in particular, so I feel like I do have to talk about it. I have a 1.5-year-old son, and that is a big deal of finding time to read. If you are a mom, or if you know kids, or if you know toddlers, you know that they're up a lot and they require 24/7 attention. At least my child is. So finding time to read is becoming more difficult. Now, that doesn't mean that if you were also a mom that, I'm not saying that it's always going to be hard for you to find time to read. There are some moms that are awesome at finding time to read, and you don't even have to be a mom. You can be in school, and you have school a lot, and you have homework and papers and college stuff and all that stuff to do, and you have a hard time finding to read. You could be working an amazing job that you love, but you're just tired when you come home and you don't have time to read. This doesn't mean, me saying I'm a mom doesn't mean that's exclusive, only finding hard time to read. No, I think I'd say 90% of people that read have a hard time finding time to read, and that is okay, because that is life. Life is busy, life is stressful, life is hectic, life is fill in the blank, Finding time to read is always going to be a tough situation. I'm very lucky, whereas my son, wakes up generally around the same time each day. He will generally take a 1.5 to 2 hour nap. Amazing, praise the Lord. But sometimes he'll throw me curveballs, and I'm like, why, God, why is there no nap today? But for the most part, he's very good. He's very routine. He's I'm not saying he's an easy kid by any means, because that kid is willful. But it's pretty. I pretty much know what my day is gonna look like almost, which is amazing. So let's just talk about that. So like I said, my son will get up around the same time every day. That's somewhat pretty early. So I don't read in the morning because I can't even fathom the thought of reading before 8 a.m. because I can't do it. So my son takes a 1.5 to 2 hour nap a day. Now, usually that time I'm like, should I film videos, or should I, do housework or laundry, or, other stuff that I have to do? And I don't generally read in that time because it's just so tough, because I have so much stuff going on, I have YouTube, which is an amazing thing, but it requires a lot of work. Slapping all this on is amazing, but it takes time. So I have to think days in advance. I have to think at least 2 days in advance. I'm going to film a video Wednesday, so I need to make sure my hair is washed. I have time to do my makeup. I have to make sure, the weather's looking okay. It takes a lot of time and energy. So I have to think about that, and I have to, dedicate an hour probably for filming, and then I'll try to edit right after that if he's still sleeping. And so finding time to read during that nap schedule is just, it's a no. And then, he usually goes to bed around the same time every night, which is awesome. And there are some days where I can't even keep my eyes open. I can't even keep my eyes open past 9:30. I'm done. It's where I can read. So finding time to read is just so tough. tough. Like it happens. There are some months where I'm in love with books, and every free time I'll have, I don't care if I have stuff to do while I was napping, I'm like, I need to read this book. And there are some times, like right now, where I'm not really interested in any book, even though I have tons of amazing book behind me. I just don't even want to bother with reading, and that's okay. It just happens. It's just finding time to read is so tough. Like, I don't want to be the person that dedicates like this time of day to reading. Like, I think that's awesome, but I think that would put too much pressure on myself. I want to be more of the mindset if I have time to read today, great, I can't wait. If not, it's not a big deal, because if I feel like if I force myself to read, I won't enjoy the book too much. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Like, even sometimes at night, I'll be like, all right, I need to read 50 pages. About like 25 pages in that 50 pages, I'm like, I need to go to sleep right now because I'm going to pass out. And I don't know, like, there's so many things, So what do you guys do? Do you like do the 50 pages things? Do you set like 15 minutes a day to read? Like, I think that's awesome if you could do that. I just don't know if I could. I don't know where I'm taking this video. Like, finding time to read is just tough. I think that you could be always better at it, as if in any situation you could always find ways to improve, and you can always find ways that you could be worse at it, but you're not. So, a lot of times my husband will give me a break, or he'll watch our son while, and I'll go read for 30 minutes, and that's great, but sometimes, he has to do stuff too. So it's tough finding time to read. It just is. What do you guys do to find time to read? Especially if you're a mom of kids, whatever. I would love to hear how you find time to read. Do you stay up late at night? Because if you do, how do you do that? Because I can't. Like, I can't. About, finding time to read. How do you do it? How could you be better at it? How could you be worse? Finding time to read. Is it easy for you, or is it tough for you? I would love to know everybody's different circumstances, whether they work a lot, whether they have a lot of, different activities they do. They can do sports, you can do other various things that makes you take time away from reading, but you love reading, but you have all these other things. I feel like I'm talking about a minute. But, you know what I'm saying? Just let me, how is your situation? How do you find time to read? Let's just share with each other of how you find time to read, and how is it difficult for you, how it's easy for you. Let's just have a nice, open, general discussion, because I would love tips and tricks and just awesome things, because all friends here, we can share things. So, yeah. I'm going to end now because I feel like I just keep repeating myself, and I hope this was an okay video. If not, I apologize immensely, but how it goes sometimes. So anyway, if you like this video, if you do, you probably don't because it's crazy, but give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully less insane, because words, what are they right now? Because I just spitting them out like I don't even know, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. Oof. Bye guys.
Honey, I thought you